the inflation turned out horrible. Yet the stock market broke record high. What on earth is going on? So the US February inflation rate just came out today and it was red hot. Traditionally, when this kind of bad result come out, the stock market crash. But today, a strange phenomenon happened. Not only did it not crash, it hit a record high. So I think that's warrant us a very detailed look at it. My usual disclaimers, read it for yourself, hit a like and subscribe to this video, and also remember to join us on our Telegram channel. So the CPI climbed up 3.2% year-on-year over last month, and that's faster than the 3.1% pace that was set in January. And economists were actually predicted that price would hold for February, but it did not. The core inflation also hit a 3.8%, although this is slightly down from 3.9% for December and January, but it is still higher than what the economists have surveyed. So if you look at the headline inflation, it looks like this. Well, there's a dramatic drop and it kind of like, flattened off and refused to go down. Can you see that? It is still an elusive distance away from the magical 2% that the Federal Reserve wanted. And they will not stop until the 2% is being reached. And that's very undesirable. The core inflation rate, which excludes the volatile food and energy prices, rose 0.4% from January to February. That's an increase from last month's 0.3%. So this is actually a very bad news because the Federal Reserve actually look at this indicator more than anything else to decide whether they would, adjust the interest rate or not. So overall, this is actually quite a bad news. And this confirms a lot of people's fear, including Jerome's Powell. They need to watch a bit longer before they decide on lowering the interest rate. And actually, that is pretty wise of him because if he have lowered interest rate prematurely, then this re-inflation would actually hit a bit harder. So we should not expect any adjustments to the interest rate downwards for the next 1 or 2 months or 3 months. I would even say that June is a bit too early. I think July should be the one that we should see a cut in interest rate. So logically, this is a very bad inflation report, right? This confirms that the Federal Reserve is not going to cut interest rates soon. And in fact, the next Federal Reserve Open Market Committee meeting, Jerome Powell, he will be very hawkish and say those things that will crash the stock market. So logically, when this kind of inflation report comes out, most of the time, in fact, all the time, when this thing happens, the stock market will have a dip or a crash. Well, you know what? Today is an unusual environment. So guess what happens? Okay, today the stock market surprisingly, ignores the entire hot inflation rate and actually, surged to a new record high. And I was like, flabbergasted, unbelievable. I'm not grumbling, but it's just unbelievable because, in this kind of terrible news, how can the stock market go for a bull run, right? So this is something that is very unusual, never seen before. So the S&P 500 hit a record close, at 5,175 points. And, the momentum is really strong. The NASDAQ also rose considerably by 1.5%. And this is a huge surprise to myself and also to many economists and analysts around the world. I've read and watched many market watchers, economists, and analysts to the question of why. And yet I do not find a convincing answer. The inflation has increased month on month. The inflation has also increased versus market expectation. So logically, the market should crash. And yet today, the stock market broke record close, right? So it is an unbelievable results. I would give you anecdotally what I think are the answers. Everybody now knows that the inflation will eventually come down to 2%. I think it's a foregone conclusion. It's not a matter of will, but it's a matter of when. So therefore, everybody has been tuned to believe that, so whatever happens, the inflation will ultimately come down to 2%, never mind these little bumps. And right now, I think the market is kind of inundated and numb to all this small inflationary volatility. So when markets see this inflation go up by 0.1%, go down by 0.1%, all this, they kind of like, I don't care about this anymore. The only one thing I want to care about is the only thing that matters to everybody right now is not all this small inflationary volatility, but they don't want to miss this entire AI-driven bull run. To think that the whole inflationary pressure right now starts to build up, and yet the investor sees that the market did not crash. So they realize that, oh, I've been waiting for a crash to happen, and yet it did not happen. So I better come in right now. Okay, we call this FOMO, fear of missing out. I better come in right now and invest. If not, I will continue to miss this bull run forever. So that's why I think everybody saw that the market is now resilient to inflationary shocks. And therefore, it simply means that the AI bull run, take a stronger pressure over this downward pressure. So therefore, they all jumped in and drive the whole stock market up. This is what I think is the reasons why the whole stock market goes up despite such a heavy inflationary bad news. So the stock market right now is getting insulated against market volatility, and this is a damn good sign. It is as if the stock market right now is currently vaccinated against COVID virus. So the COVID virus is inflation, right? They have been injected now with the vaccine to know that they have no more fear against COVID. The stock market, in my opinion, will continue to go from strength to strength, and not without a lot of volatility in between. But I think that you would go up in a very powerful trajectory, and let's enjoy the ride. This is my opinion. I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. Please let me know your comments in the comment section. And also, let's discuss this in our Telegram channel. And for those people who are in the market strong, let's enjoy the ride and stay strong when the volatility comes. And I'll see you in a day or two. So by the way, the next video I'm going to shoot is about the property market. So Minister Desmond Lee actually made a few very serious remarks about the property market. And I think the whole media did not pick up the nuances that he says. And I really want to drive home to those nuances, because this might signal a strong stance the government is going to take again. I'm now at the playground, and we are going to shoot at that. Okay. I need a 3 kena balloon, then I get a prize.
Not bad. 1, 2. Wow! Será que tem no? Get the green monster.
What do I get?
Get
Anything. What do you want?
Green monster.
How about the one?
Cualquier pro.
What is? Wait. What should I pick?
Si fallas no pasa nada, nadie te va a decir nada, ¿ok? Tómate.